Okay, this is Angie Davison, Madison Weekly, and Hannah Schoenhart. We are extremely excited to be here. It's been an emotional roller coaster. Sunday, I mean, literally agony of defeat. We lose in overtime in the conference championship, and then Monday to see our name come up is really the thrill of victory. So we're extremely excited to be here. We realize that DePaul is a very, very good opponent. We're looking forward to the challenge, and we're excited to play in front of the great fans of Starkville. We know what women's basketball means here, and we're excited to be here.
Okay, at this time we'll take questions for the student athletes.
Angie, could you just kind of maybe describe this team to a group of people that maybe haven't seen y'all play before? How would you label your team?
I'd probably label us really together. I mean, we're like a family and we all love each other, and this is probably one of the closest teams I've ever been on. So we just do a really good job of staying together no matter what's happening during each game.
Madison, your team's been one of the better teams in ball security throughout the season. How do you prepare for the type of pressure you're going to end up seeing from this DePaul team?
I think we just have to continue to do what we have been doing all season and taking care of the ball, being strong with it. We know that they're going to come out with a lot of pressure, so we just have to be ready for that, mentally prepared, and just continue to do what we've been doing all season.
Madison, you're averaging 32 minutes a game on this team. How's your body at this point? Like, are you tired? Or?
I haven't had any problems this season. My body's holding up, so I think I'll be ready to go. And yeah, it's been 4 years, but I think I'm prepared for it.
Madison, y'all shoot a bunch of three-pointers. DePaul shoots a ton of three-pointers. Both play pretty fast. Do you have to worry about, I don't know, getting sped up too much and settling on three-pointers, or are you pretty much ready to run and gun pretty much every game?
I think it depends on the game. It depends on our flow as an offense. And we do have to be conscious of our shot selection this game and make sure that we are getting the best shots, because we know that they want to run and get quick shots up. So we're going to have to take our good shots if we're giving them right away, but also work the ball because we know we're going to be able to get one.
Hannah, what is it about Megan that's gotten her off to such a good freshman year, particularly in rebounding?
She's a hard worker. She never takes any possession off. She's always willing to learn and listen, and I think that's a big part. As she came in and she was ready, and she was just like a sponge, and that helped her. And again, she's just a hard worker.
For any of you, Herzberg she was first team all conference,
Yes.
right? But also the 6th woman of the year. I mean, what does it do for this team to have a player like that coming off the bench for the most part?
I think what Ellie has done for us this year has been tremendous. It's always nice going to our bench and having that instant offense, instant speed off the bench like she brings us. So she's a big part of what we have been able to do this season, and we have relied heavily on her.
Hannah, how do you feel the team's handled that transition from being one of the last 4 into the tournament to then finding out you're playing DePaul and getting prepared for this moment and this game tomorrow?
It's been a roller coaster, definitely, but we've handled it well. We've taken it day by day, minute by minute, so we're all ready to step up, and we've been focused since we found out.
Any more questions for the student athletes? Okay, ladies, you're dismissed. Thank you. Okay, we will, who's got the microphone? Okay.
Coach, what, if anything, can you do to kind of make DePaul feel uncomfortable or get them out of their what they do so well on the court?
Well, we have to get back in transition. I mean, they push the basketball better than anyone I've seen, and I thought Drake really pushed the basketball. So we got to get back in transition. Got to be able to defend the three-point line because all 5 kids shoot the three, and then we got to be able to defensive rebound. If we can do those things, then we can make them a little bit uncomfortable because they really want quick shots. Offensively, we've got to take care of the basketball and make sure that we're not giving them easy points in transition.
Coach, how important was Maz this year with Weekly being coming into the year as someone that was expected to play at this kind of level? How important was her coming on as a freshman to kind of round out this team?
Megan was extremely important, and we expected Megan to play right away. You know, I've been asked with her being a freshman, was it better for her just to get in and learn? And in that instance, for Megan, it was. We needed her to play right away. She works extremely hard. She's extremely coachable. She loves a challenge. And as she continued to get her feet wet in terms of the physicality of the game, you could continue to see her confidence just rise and rise game by game. And she's been a tremendous asset to our program, both offensively and defensively.
Speaking of the defense, it's 34th nationally in scoring defense. What's been the formula there?
Well, we do a lot of different things defensively, but the thing that our team does extremely well is they lock into scouting report in terms of how we want to defend our opponent. We mix it up. We play some man. We'll play some matchup. We throw some trapping stuff, and we defend ball screens differently. And from game to game or in-game adjustments, our kids do a very good job of whatever necessary adjustments need to be made.
Coach, you know, DePaul has been in the NCAA tournament, I think, the last 15 years. And just, you know, obviously it's your first trip in several, like 6 or 7 years, I guess. What is experience in the tournament overrated, or do you think that's something that, an edge for DePaul? I mean, is that something you have to guard against?
Well, I think to be playing this time of year, the experience factor, it's important, but I also talk to our kids a lot about perception. We understand that the perception is, with experience-wise, that DePaul has that edge. But I talk to our kids a lot about perception is what you believe. And what is it you believe? Your reality is what you believe. So what is it? What do we believe? And that's the mindset that we have to take into this basketball game. It's a different game, but it's not different. It's still the same game. It's just on a different platform. So we will talk a lot about the mindset and what is our reality. What is it Northern Iowa believes?
And I know you've done this for a while, so watching, you know, Doug with his success at DePaul, why do you think, you know, 15 years in a row is pretty impressive?
Yes, it is.
How does he do it? You know, what most impresses you about that program?
Well, they're a well-oiled machine. They execute extremely well on both ends of the floor. They really want the possession number up. And the way they defend, they play a lot of different kids. But the thing that I really like about what they do is they've got 4 or 5 kids in double figures. So they have great balance. So you have to be able, his ability to run and gun and then also to get them to do what they do defensively says a lot about, I'd like to see one of his conditioning days, because you have to be well conditioned to play the style that they play on both ends of the floor. And 15 years in a row, tremendous. And I don't know, since I've been coaching and I've watched DePaul a lot, I don't know that he's had a down year. And they had injuries this year. So that really says a lot about his coaching staff and the young women in his program.
Madison's been a lot more of a distributor of the basketball this year. Did she just do that on her own, or was that something y'all talked about at some point?
Well, Madison played the 2 for us last year. We graduated four fifth-year seniors from our team last year, and we needed to move her back to the point guard. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Madison's one of those kids that has great versatility with her ability not only to score, but her ability to make those around her better, because her assist-to-turnover ratio is outstanding when you consider the fact that she is the focal point of everyone's defense. She just does it extremely well and very confident, but she knows exactly when to take over and when to get everyone else involved, and that's something you can't teach.
So is she a natural point guard, or is she a natural 2?
I like her at both.
Coach, DePaul kind of unique in the sense they have a preseason player of the year that gets injured, another different player that becomes their conference's player of the year, and then they get that preseason player of the year back. So how do you kind of go about trying to find ways to take away some of their top scoring options?
I think Jessica's been back. She got back the last 3 games of the conference. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
I believe so. You know, we're just going to have to you're not going to be able to slow them down, or you just got to be able to try to contain them. And what we're going to have to be able to do is score on the offensive end, because I feel that we are a very good defensive team, but they're a very good offensive team. So we got to be able to manage runs, and then we got to be able to go on our own runs. And within those runs, we got to be able to make shots and take care of the basketball. We got to be able to get stops and secure the defensive glass.
How well equipped do you feel your team is to handle their pace, that speed of play?
Well, the fact that they really remind me a lot of Drake, especially offensively. I believe their motto is, we're going to score 100 catches if you can, and Drake's is very similar. So the fact that we played Drake 3 times and we just played Drake makes me feel really good about what we need to do offensively or defensively. In the half court, they're really a mix between Creighton and Drake, and having played them both, I feel good about what we need to do defensively. Now, we've not seen that type of pressure in a while, so we're going to have to make sure, again, that all 5 kids handle the basketball and we're not just leaving Madison out on an island to bring it up herself. So we'll have to be on our P's and Q's offensively in terms of taking care of the ball.
Angie talked about this team's closeness whenever asked how would she label the team and things. Is that something that you've picked up on with this team, that their closeness and things? And how would you describe the team both off and on the court?
On the floor, I think we're extremely gritty. We try to do the little things and do them well. Each young lady understands what their role is, and they really do a very good job of staying in their role in terms of what's going to allow this team to flourish. Very selfless team. Off the floor, they are extremely close, and when you lose 4 fifth-year seniors out of your starting lineup, coming into a season where this is our youngest team in 8 years, I was a little worried about the leadership and the closeness, because we have 3 seniors and then 1 junior that's a grad transfer, and then the rest of them are underclassmen. So I'm a little bit worried, but I tell you, Angie, Madison, and Hannah, our 3 captains, did a tremendous job all year long, starting when our kids got to campus in the summer to just building the relationship. They do a lot of stuff off the floor, whether that's grilling out someone's house. They play a lot of games. I couldn't have been more impressed with how a group of young women were able to get everybody on board and get them to understand how we do it on an everyday basis, both on and off the floor.
You mentioned losing the conference championship game and then getting in the field as an at-large. All that being said, you got 2 top 25 RPI wins and 8 games against top 100 in the RPI. Does that make it easier for this team to flip the switch from feeling fortunate to be in the field to competing now that they're in it?
Well, we definitely feel that we earned the right to be here. When you look at what we did in the non-conference, and that's why we schedule the way we do in the non-conference, to make sure that if things don't go our way in the conference tournament, as it did on Sunday, that we have done everything in our power to prepare ourselves for an at-large bid. And when you look at what this team was able to do in the non-conference, in the fact that we have 2 top 25 RPI wins and we schedule the way we do, there's no doubt in my mind that we're ready for this stage, and that's why we do what we do in our non-conference scheduling.
I know you said on Monday there were obviously some tense moments and everything. With this team, and I know it's good because it's you, obviously, but the Valley in general getting that respect of a second team in, I mean, did you think it was a good thing for the league?
It's a great thing for the league. When you talk about at-large bids, and I believe 2013 was the last time we had multiple bids, it says a lot about the way we schedule and the way that our league is going in terms of top to bottom, that you have to be ready to play. But it was a huge boast for our league to get 2 teams in this year. And again, I think it's a credit to both programs, and it says a lot to where our league is headed.